Hey y'all, it's Amanda with Tap Mom and the Big Brigade. Yep, I'm late night recording again. y'all used to that though, right? Yep, you're used to it. Well, I just been trying to take it easy the last couple of days. Of course, still waiting to hear about an appointment with an orthopedic for my hip. It continues to be a problem, but I'm not letting it stop me. Got out, had to go to the store today and pick up prescriptions and dog food and mustard and pickles and odds and ends that we didn't get when we went Saturday. When John and I went to the store Saturday. John being my youngest son, my autistic son, my right-hand man. But I have made a progress on the shawl that I'm making for a lady. Although I thought I was done after the first cake because I thought it got pretty big. But when I sent her the measurements, it wasn't big enough. Bummer. I wanted to be done with this one. I don't know why, but for some reason, I'm using this yarn here. This Karen cotton painterly cakes. They don't make painterly cakes anymore. They only made them for 1 year. But I've had this yarn for a while, and apparently it's dried out a little bit. I'm going to wash it with fabric softener before I send it to her. It'll be nice and soft when she gets it. But working with it is not fun, just to let y'all know. But I'm going to persevere. I got the one cake done, and I'll remeasure it when I get about halfway through this cake and see if it's, big enough, wide enough, and long enough for but I'll work on that. But I do have a bestie B-Day coming up. Eva's birthday is in August, and with my newfound ability to crochet with 3-weight using a 5mm hook, I decided to cake up some of the Malabrigo that I was given a while back. Now forgive me, I lost the card. I've misplaced. I won't say lost. I misplaced the card that came with the yarn because I was given 5 hanks of this color I'm using for her gift, and I was given 5 of another solid blue color and a couple in gray. I know what I was given. I just for some reason have lost the card and can't remember the lady's name. Please forgive me if you're watching. It's a very treasured gift, and I have mulled over exactly what I wanted to make with this yarn. And so, but with her birthday coming up and her being, my closest friends, and I just wanted to make something with the 3-weight for her because it had purple in it, and purple's her color. And so I caked up two of the 5 hanks I have. They're like, I forget, 300 and something yards per hank. So I'm hoping I have enough, but I'm just gonna do the tiniest little cardigan you ever seen. Well, just keep in mind that Eva's not even 5 feet tall, so it doesn't have to be a long cardigan. Me and Amy kind of talked about it, because I was like, do I do a top or do I do a cardigan? And she said, well, a top you can only take on and off, but a cardigan you can wear with various things. So that cinched it. And I didn't want to go find a new pattern or a new tutorial and try something new with this yarn. I wanted to do something that I've done many, many times, and I'm fairly, competent at making them. So I decided to go with the Granny Stitch Hexie Cardi. And so this is the first cake of it that what I'll do is I'll do this whole cake, this whole hank in, and then I'll use this other one that I caked up to, let's see, I guess I'll probably have to find that. I know I put it over here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Okay. I kept the tag for this because I wanted to have it. But this is Malabrigo Arroyo. It's 335 yards per hank, and the colorway is called Wales Road. And so they're all the same color. I don't know if y'all can see that it's got a It's got purples and blues and a little bit of turquoise in there. It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. But of course, it's that it's merino. Yeah, superwash merino wool. Yeah. So it'll keep her warm when she needs it to keep her warm and not make her too hot. So I'll probably do the same thing with the hanks that I have for myself. I'll probably make myself the same type sweater so that I can, you know, have it with whatever I want to wear. But the hanks that I have for myself that she sent in 4-weight, the ones that I kept that are in 4-weight. So that'd be a little better. But I have 5 skeins of that color, of the blue color they're in there put up. And then I have some skeins that I bought from Little Knits that will pair with that nicely. So I have more than enough to make my own self a cardigan as well. I'll do that later this year, probably. Maybe by my birthday. Maybe that'll be my birthday present to myself. I make a lot for other people, but I don't always make for myself. So, and I just finished doing the Rising Phoenix top and dress for myself. So I don't really feel motivated to make myself anything right now. But these 2 things are what I'm working on. And I'm using a 5mm hook with this thin yarn, and it's fine. It's fine. And then I'm using a 5.5mm with the shawl I'm making. I decided to go up a half a millimeter with that. I figured it would make it more drapey, and it is. So it'll be fine. I usually use a 5mm with the Karen cotton cakes because it's a thinner 4-weight. But the 5.5 is working out just fine. It's not giving me any trouble. And this is my 5mm clover hook, and that's what I'm using with this Malabrigo yarn. And I'm even using a stitch marker that Eva gave me. So, but it's playing out very pretty. It's very pretty. I'm not chaining between clusters. So, but it'll be nice. I'm hoping there's enough yardage. I may have to borrow from my other stash of this. I got a color in there that will pair with this just fine if I need it to. But Amy did her best to put my mind at ease about the yardage. She said it should be enough because Eva's small. So we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to work one whole half up in this with this cake, and then I'll work the second half up in the other cake, and then I'll go back and cake some more of it up because I have 3 hanks that I didn't cake up because my setup to my the way I have to do it, I have to use this little black folding table, and then attach the Swift on the far side and the ball winder on this side, and then I have to y'all gonna laugh, and it's okay to laugh at me. I have rather big feet. I have women's size 10 extra wide feet, okay? And with my feet, I have long toes that come in handy when you have tables that you're working at that you need to hold steady. So what I did is I held the edges of the table legs between my big toe and my second toe to hold it steady while I was doing the caking up. If anybody come in here and see me, they would have made fun of me. But do what you gotta do. It worked. It worked. So, that's all you can really hope for, is that it worked. But yeah, I had my legs like so, and I just put the edges of the table between my toes and held it firm so that it wouldn't shake too much, because it's just a little rickety little table. It's not very stable, and especially not when you're cranking away. And because I got my hand holding the yarn, which I use some gloves to hold some gloves that Roxy sent me to hold the yarn while it's going on the cake. So I'm holding it and cranking it and holding the table down with my feet. Redneckified, that's what you call that. Yep, redneck engineering. But you know, I only did 2 cakes because of that setup. I'll do more when I need to. But they say don't cake them up unless you're ready to use them, because you could stretch it out before you're ready, whatever. But I'm just glad I was able to do that with, you know. But there's nothing wrong with my Swift, and there's nothing wrong with my ball winder. It's just the table I have to use to do it, you know, was just it's not a real sturdy table, but it's the only one thin enough. I could probably do it on the desk in the dining room, but it's covered in stuff right now. And I didn't want to fool with that. I didn't want to mess with that. I'd have probably had to hold it with my feet too to keep it from rolling or jarring around. It would have just been an ordeal. So I guess when I get ready for the next 2 or 3 hanks, I'll break out the little table and hold it with my toes. Oh, I don't have a whole lot to report tonight. It's been kind of a boring few days. I've just worked on this shawl and, you know, chilled out. You watch some TV, watch some videos. I watch what I want to on YouTube, and then I go to Hulu or Netflix. I've been watching this show on Netflix called The Dead Boy Detectives. And I like sort of supernatural type stuff occasionally, you know, witches and creatures and that sort of thing, as long as it's not gory. If it gets real gory, I'm out. But if it's funny, you know, like dark humor, I'm there for it. I like dark humor, you know. But these basically these a couple of ghosts. One, it was made a ghost in the early 1900s, and one was made a ghost in the 1980s. And the older ghost found the younger guy as he was dying, and then they became best mates. So, and then they just, I don't know how all that came about. I guess maybe they'll get into that the second season. But they ended up helping wayward other ghosts with problems. Some of them needing to clear up an issue on Earth before they could go to the afterlife. And some of them were just being tortured by other ghosts, and needed that other ghost dealt with so that they could go to the afterlife. And it does just so happen that the witch from Supernatural, Ruth Connell, is actually in this show. Yeah, she's kind of oh boy, an uptight character, to say the least. But it's interesting how she came to be part of their little detective agency, because they also consist of a psychic that they were asked to help with a demon problem, because she had gotten involved romantically with a demon, the psychic, and then the demon possessed her. So the Dead Boy Detectives were asked to help her by her ghost friend, and they managed to deal with the demon, or at least they thought they had. But it, you know, I don't want to ruin it for you if you want to go watch it, but it's really funny. It's really good. It also involves them traveling to America to help somebody. I forget why exactly they went to America, but they ended up renting a room above a butcher shop. And then they encounter a little Japanese girl, and she ends up being part of the squad there for a little while. So it's just very lots of turns, and you know, but it's very funny. It's very funny if you like dark comedy, of course. If you're not into the supernatural, made up fantasy type stuff, you know, and funny dark humor, then you're probably not going to get it. You know, it's not for everybody. But if you like the show Supernatural, you'll like this show. You'll like it. And I happen to really like the show Supernatural. Team Dean all the way. All the way. But yeah, not that Sam wasn't good looking, but Dean just had that special thing, you know, that deep voice, those twinkly eyes, that chin. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I just don't have a whole lot to talk about. But I've been watching that, and of course I've been still watching The Golden Girls, and then occasionally I'll watch Law and Order SVU. I've been making my way through the seasons of that. There's like close to 30 seasons of that, or something like that. A whole lot of seasons. So that's just one of those fallback shows you watch when you can't think of anything else you want to watch. Yeah, that's what that is. And of course I watched a show on Acorn TV called Harry. I think that's the name of it. But it's got Jane Seymour is the main character. Oh, and she's so pretty. She's still pretty. She's in her 70s, and she still is really, really beautiful. But she's also a little detective and goes around helping people with issues. Her and this young man that she got involved with after he knocked her down and stole her purse. She chased him down and made him repent, and they ended up making fast friends. And now they, solve mysteries together. So it's really good. I think it's got like 3 seasons. Yep. And then of course they now have Lucy Lawless's show, My Life is Murder, or Murder is My Life, or something like that. She also solves mysteries. I just have a thing about mysteries. Maybe I was a detective in a former life. Who knows? Or at least I probably would have made a really good one. Because I watch those documentaries, those crime documentaries, and I'm like, so-and-so did that. And guess what? Half the time that's the case. So, But yeah, But they've gotten so far with forensic technology now, it does not pay to do crime, because they will eventually find you. What upsets me, though, is when these cold cases, and this person has lived their free life for 30 years after doing something terrible and getting away with it. And then they're oh so shocked to know that they caught up with them and are punishing them after 30 years. Really? Really? You just thought you were out there living free and clear? No, your judgment day was coming, Bubba. Technology just had to catch up. So, yeah, I like to see them catch those people after so long and rain on their parade. And I just hate that they get away with it for so long before they get caught. That's a bit heartbreaking, especially for the victims' families and that sort of thing. Anyway, I don't know what set me off into that little tangent, but yeah. This week is a bit of a lean week, so there won't be any yarn buying. If y'all have any questions about my stash or whatever, and even though we're a bit low on funds at the moment, I'm not selling mystery bags anytime soon. I did that months ago, a while ago, and got rid of a ton of yarn, and it did help me financially when I needed it to, but we're okay. We're low on funds. That just means I can't buy yarn, but we have food and everything else that we need. I don't need to buy yarn. I have plenty to use, as y'all can imagine. Not as much as other people, but I have enough. And so I just need to work from what I have. Obviously, that's why I went and dug out the Malabrigo for the special project. So, and I will do my best to get pictures of her wearing it when I give it to her on her birthday. So, I don't think it's going to take me 2 months to make it, but I just wanted to start it, because it is with a thinner yarn, and I'm not terribly used to thinner yarn. It's just something new that I discovered, that I can use a 5mm with 3-weight and do okay. I have to go slower. I do have to go slower, which I don't like going slower, but yeah, especially with this superwash merino, I really had to slow my roll, because it's not exactly as tough as acrylic, so you need to treat it a little bit better. So I am being more careful, and it's going to take me a little while, but I think it'll be worth it. I think it'll be beautiful. It's already working up really pretty, and I'm enjoying working with it. I can understand why people really like the merino, the superwash merino. I can understand someone preferring that to work with, because it is really smooth, and the working it is really smooth and very comfortable. So I can understand why someone would, prefer that as their favorite fiber. I certainly, if I could afford to have more of it, I certainly would. But that stuff is high. So acrylic it and cotton it is. You deal with what you have. And I just been very, very fortunate that someone, and I wish to God I hadn't misplaced the card and the name, but she knows who she is, and she gifted me quite a bit of Malarigo several months back. And I looked and looked for the video and couldn't find it. I was like, oh, this makes me so mad. I hate forgetting things like that. I'm human, and I've been through a lot this year already. I guess if something had to give, it was my memory. So I'll find that card eventually and remember, what the name of the video was. But when you have something like 1,100 videos, it happens. And I do have something like 1,100 videos on my channel. So that's a lot of videos to try to remember, things from. So I'm not perfect, of course. Anyhow, well, I got 20 minutes in. How about that? But if y'all have questions for me, drop them in the comments. I had collected a couple of screenshots of some questions, but I guess it just didn't pick up. It didn't pick up any pace as far as people leaving commented questions. I did recently remove a rude comment and block that person from leaving any future comments because they were completely out of line. Just because I share stuff about my life does not mean you get to dictate it to me. You can disagree with me all you like. Just stay out of my comments about it, because this is a positivity zone only, and I will remove rude comments. I won't give you a warning. I won't, go into great detail about who it was or what they said or whatever. I'm just going to click, remove you, and go on about my life. Because that, whoever leaves those kind of comments, that I don't have time for that. I really don't. This is an arena where we're supposed to be, a community where we're supposed to be supportive of one another. And even when I make mistakes, there's a way to word that without being ugly. So I felt, and it was about the Leroy situation and me taking him back and what have you. Well, everybody has a right to their opinion. And he was attacking my other dog and injuring him with his little razor blade teeth. And I could not afford vet bills to get Theo patched up if he did real damage to him. And so that's why he went back. He didn't go back because of him getting in my yard. He didn't go back for all the accidents in the house or tearing up the back porch or any of that puppy stuff that, I complained about it. Well, I'm human. Of course I complained about it. I was going through it with that dog, but I would have been perfectly okay to continue going through it with him had he not attacked Theodore. I would have complained, but I would have went through it anyway because I really wanted him. I did. But Theo I've had for 7 years, and I wasn't going to risk Theo's health and his well-being because I wanted that puppy. That's not right. So that's why he went back. Not because he messed up the house, not because of anything else, but because I couldn't have him injuring Theodore, who is a well-trained, well-mannered dog and didn't deserve to be treated that way. So that's the last time I'm going to even talk about Leroy, because it breaks my heart that I had to take him back. And I hate it. But I didn't feel like I had a choice. So... And I'm not in any hurry to adopt another dog anytime soon. I'm just going to enjoy having Theo and just, the cheaper feed bill and, because he doesn't eat as much as 2 dogs does. So, he's well trained. I think the next time I adopt a dog, it's going to have to be at least 3-4 years old. I'm not going for puppies anymore. And an older dog is probably what I will end up with. A healthy older dog, or between 3 and 5 years old, is probably what I'll go for in the future, whenever that happens to be. I'm not going to put a time limit on it or, time frame on it. It's just whenever we feel like we've healed a little bit more from losing Axel. So I jumped the gun when I adopted Leroy because I was grieving, and I felt like that's what I should do, is adopt another dog. I was wrong. I shouldn't have done that because it didn't help my grief at all. So I'm still grieving. I just not constantly in tears, but certain things I'll come across that will remind me of him, and the next thing I know, I'm crying. And of course, right now I'm dealing with being off bipolar meds. So there's that, because the new medication that the doctor gave me caused me a serious rash and serious itching issues. And when I messaged her about it, she called me right away, because if I had continued to take the medicine, it would have put me into some sort of syndrome that causes your skin to fall off. Yeah. So I will just grin and bear it until I get in to see her again and she can give me new medicine. So far, my moods haven't been too bad, but I do notice that I get a little easier annoyed with certain situations than I normally would. So I'm working through it, though. I'm doing my best. But yeah, I'm just a little short-tempered at the moment, and a little easy to be annoyed. So, but I'll be okay. I'll contact her the first of the month and get in to see her. I know she said something about this week she was, or is it this week or next week that she's on vacation or something. So I'll get with her the 1st of July, which is not long from now, and get another medication that will hopefully work. I had to have my medicine switched because the medicine that I've been on for years that was working like a charm was also causing me kidney stones. And I don't want to go through that again. I just spent 2 months sick with that. So, anyhow, hopefully you're still with me. Thank you for watching. If you're still here, thank you for listening to me run my mouth for almost 30 minutes and show you very little yarn. Also going to have to make me something for my head, because when I went out today, the sun was hurting the top of my head. So I'm going to have to make something to put on my head when I go out in the sun, because I don't have enough hair on my head to block the sun rays, to guard against sunburn on my head. It just felt like something was boring down on the top of my head. I was like, why is that? And then it occurred to me, I'm right in the sunlight with very little hair on my head. So yeah, that's what it was. So I'll have to get a little hat or something to wear when I'm walking out in the sun, because that was not cool. Not cool at all. The first time I'd ever experienced that direct heat, direct sunlight causing me, pain like that. It was really weird. But anyhow, I hope y'all have a good day. And please remember that I love you, and so does Jesus. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Bye now.